You created the series several years ago, and you were so actively involved in season one. Did you ever kind of see where it would end up going now?
We had a lot of ideas as to where the show would go, and some of those things have remained in the series. But there are so many things, as always happens with series, that you just can't anticipate everything. So it's impossible when you're working on something in the middle of season one that 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 years later, you're going to be thinking exactly the same thing and wanting to deal with and resolve the same thing. So I think Joel Wyman this season, knowing it was last year, just did, I think, an unbelievable job at not only wrapping up the story, but ending the series on its terms in a really emotional, unexpected, intense, cool way. And that to me is what the show always intended, we always intended the show to be, which is kind of a Trojan horse. It was like, it looked like a kind of weird, odd, quirky, kind of scary show, and at the core was a huge heart. And romance and emotion and characters you love.
I mean, given how vocal this fan base has been, and given how much genre shows do need to have that appropriate closure, I mean, how much do you think it's going to kind of restore faith in a little bit of genre television that they got to close it out the right way?
You know, I've been involved in shows that have had resolutions that have been, in some cases, adored, in other cases, enraging fans, and in some cases a split. My feeling is that there is no one way to end a story. You can't please everyone.
Right.
There's a lot going on.
I don't think you look at a series
still deal very heavily with
just in terms of what is the ending going to be, what is that last episode going to do, because it really is about the experience. But I'll say that in the case of Fringe, I think that Joel Wyman has done an unbelievable job creating an ending that is not only satisfying but also like as he's done all year, connecting really deeply with everything that's come before, so that it doesn't feel like it's in any way kind of tacked on. It feels inevitable, and that to me is the thing that is, I think, the most powerful about it and the most emotional. It's a really emotional ending, and I think really surprising as well, but has that kind of great satisfying feeling that this was all for some larger purpose. There was a story and a moral that doesn't feel arbitrary.
Yeah. Do you have a favorite season or a favorite episode from the series, or is it kind of?
I mean, first of all, the fact that season 5 started as it did, where you sort of jump in and you're in the future, and that to me is, it's one of the things about this show that feels incredibly unique to the series. Not that other shows couldn't jump ahead in time, but to jump ahead in time the way this show did really speaks to the kind of, the creativity of it, and the fact that Joel was, willing and able to take a big risk and do something that, held on to so much. In fact, I would argue all of the best things about the show, but then, show it to the audience in a brand new way. There's so many episodes that I've loved along the way for various weird little reasons. And it's a funny thing because sometimes they're because the crazy case of the week is so cool and so bizarre, and other times it's because the emotional story is so gorgeous. I guess my favorite of all would be the one where you realize that Walter went back and switched out Peter. That was just a beautiful episode. There's so many episodes that I think have been in that kind of Twilight Zone way, simultaneously heartbreaking and also chilling.
So
yeah.
So it's hard to sort of pinpoint.